Oi gente, bem-vindo de volta ao meu canal e bem-vindo de volta a uma outra aula de inglês. Quando você está aprendendo inglês e especialmente quando você começar a aprender inglês, é inevitável que você não vai entender tudo que você ouve e provavelmente você está acostumado em dizer coisas tipo I don't understand, can you repeat? Can you repeat that? Na realidade, nós falantes nativos, nós raramente dizemos I don't understand ou can you repeat. Nós falamos sim, mas temos outras maneiras mais informais que nós usamos. E hoje eu quero ensinar a vocês algumas outras maneiras de dizer eu não entendo, I don't understand. Você pode repetir? Can you repeat that? Então, let's get started. Além de I don't understand ou can you repeat that? O que mais você pode dizer? Aqui estão alguns exemplos. I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I don't follow what you're saying. I don't follow what you're saying. That went right over my head. That went right over my head. Can you run that by me again? Can you run that by me again? Come again? What was that? Huh? Say what? Então, agora eu vou explicar quando é apropriado usar essas frases. E essa parte do vídeo vai ser em inglês, então se você quiser, ative as legendas, praticar seus listening, etc, etc. So the first two examples were I didn't catch that or I didn't get that. This is perfect to use for those times when perhaps you're talking to someone and just as they're finishing what they're saying, the last few words or the last sentence just wasn't clear. You can say, oh, what was I didn't catch that. What was that you said? Can you speak up? I didn't catch that. I didn't get that. So for me, I'm quite guilty of this when I speak. I kind of speak nice and clearly, and then as I finish what I'm saying, I kind of just go like and start mumbling. So often people say to me, oh, sorry, you were mumbling, I didn't catch that. What was that? Can you speak properly, please? I didn't catch that, I didn't get that. And the next example is, I don't follow what you're saying. I don't follow what you're saying. I don't follow you. And this is slightly different to the previous example because when you say you don't follow someone, you're not following what they're saying, you're suggesting that you just don't understand the point that they're trying to make. You understand what they're saying, literally you understand the words that they're saying, but you just don't understand where like the conversation is going. So for example, I don't know if you've had times when you're talking to a friend and they're sharing an experience or story, something that happened to them over the weekend, and they're going on and they're talking and you're understanding, you know, but then you kind of get halfway through and you're just like, what's the point? What's the point of this again? Like, how did we get onto this conversation? How did we land on this topic? And what is the point of you telling me this? And you can kind of just stop them midway and just say, sorry, I'm not following what you're saying. Can you start again? I'm not following. Like, how did we get to this? And so you understand what they're saying, but you're just kind of like, what are you actually saying? What is the juice? What is the core of what you're saying? I don't follow. And the next one is kind of like an idiom that we use. I was gonna say idiot. Idiot and idiom, very different words. Don't confuse them. An idiom that we use, that went right over my head. And again, what this means is you understand the person. I mean, there have been times I've talked to someone, like another native speaker in English, and like I understand you. I understand the individual words that you're saying, but I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. I can just say that went right over my head. For example, I'm quite an intelligent young woman. I went to university, thank you. But there are some things that I'm not very knowledgeable about. So things like neuroscience, for example, I would not know where to even begin having a conversation with a neuroscientist about neuroscience. I would not know. So let's say I somehow find myself in a situation where I am talking to a neuroscientist about neuroscience. Everything they say would just go right over my head. I just would not understand what they're talking about. Like, you're saying all these technical things, I just don't understand what they mean. It's going right over my head. So you use this phrase when someone's saying something to you and it's just like, it just sounds like you're speaking in English, but you're sounding like you're speaking a completely different other language. It's going right over my head. Yeah. The next one is something you can say when you want someone to repeat what they've said. And this is a super like casual, you'll hear this a lot. And if you say this, you're gonna sound so fluent, trust me. I got you. Can you run that by me again? Can you run that by me again? An example I can give of when I would use this, for example, at work, I have meetings with my manager once a week where we sit down and kind of just discuss all the things that needs to happen. And she'll usually kind of tell me, right, Follow, you can start working on this and you can start working on this and on that. And I would like this done maybe hopefully by Wednesday, that done by Thursday, this done by the end of next week. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And then by the end of it, sometimes I'm like, huh, what am I doing again? And you want what by when? So I can just be like, can you just run that by me again? Can you just say everything you've just said, but just condense it, summarize it, and give it to me so I can really process it and understand. So can you run that by me again means, can you just say what you've just said again, but just make it a bit more easier for me to understand. Can you run that by me again? And the last few examples I said were super informal, and the previous examples I would say are more kind of day-to-day English. So they're not formal, but they're not too informal, so you can use them kind of day-to-day. The last few examples are super informal, and you want to be careful in which situations you use them because you don't want to come across as rude or, you know, impolite. But amongst like your friends or just really casual situations, it's completely fine. I don't want to scare you. So things like, come again? Huh? What was that? These are like super informal ways. So let's say you're maybe in a crowded bar and you're trying to order a drink and the bartender told you something and you're just like, huh? Come again? What was that? Huh? I can't hear you, mate. Or if you're just like with your friends and there's loads of people talking and someone says something, you're like, huh? What was that? What was that? So you know what I mean? Like just super informal ways of just kind of being like, huh? I didn't hear you. And that last one I threw in was like, say what? Say what? That's actually a very American term. Say what? That's super informal. I would just keep that amongst your friends. Don't go saying that to people outside. But yeah, that was just a little bit of a joke that I threw in because we don't actually say that here in the UK. But sometimes I joke around and be like, say what? Say what? You said what? Então, só isso por hoje. Eu espero que vocês gostem desta aula. E não se preocupe se você já está acostumado em dizer I don't understand or can you repeat that. Isso é perfeitamente correto. Mas esse vídeo só foi para mostrar a vocês algumas outras maneiras mais naturais e mais informais que talvez a próxima vez, quando você não entende uma pessoa,
and there will be many times that you don't understand someone,
tentar usar uma dessas frases. Então, muito obrigada por assistir o meu vídeo e até o próximo. Tchau!